I've already done a breakdown of why the 4-2-2-2 is one of the best formations post-patch in FIFA 22. It's simply because, lads, the driven pass has been eradicated from the game and counter-attacking style play is no longer the viable way of attacking. This means that, in my opinion, possession is key, and it personally fits my game, but I'm sure it also fits a lot of you possession rats out there as well. The formation has 2 strikers and 2 CDMs, which in my opinion makes it a very overpowered formation this year in FIFA 22, especially post-patch, with 2 wingers. And I explain simply because when you have the ball with your winger out on the wing, there are usually 3 attackers in a line inside the box, which then allows you to find a pass into the striker who's showing for the ball in the 18-yard box, to then continue passing inside to find another striker or the winger, which is the cam, lamb or ram, and that way, lads, a lot of space and gaps start to open up. Believe me, it works. I've just qualified for FGS3, and lads, in my opinion, it's definitely the best formation post-patch in FIFA 22, and this is the custom tactics.
Griezmann, 3 men around him, and somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic opening, the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a taunt. Didn't really go for him. Oh! The display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We talked about AussieFIFA. He's not here to make up the...
Moving in to the custom tactics of the 4-2-2-2, lads, as my ultra attacking formation. What I have for the defensive style is balanced. I've had this on most of my formations throughout the year, and that's simply because I've always said to you guys, the way I like to play is I don't like to rely so much on the AI, but in general I like to defend manually, and that's the right way to defend, especially at a high level. You can't just rely on the AI, especially when you're playing in the high elite division. In my opinion, you need to know right stick switching, you need to defend manually, and in general put pressure onto the opponent. And in general, lads, that's why I have the defensive style on balance. It's for that reason. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on right stick switching and defending in FIFA 22, there are so many on the channel, lads. It's ridiculous. They will all help you out, and hopefully they can remedy some of your concerns with defending this year in FIFA 22. Width I have set on to 50. In my opinion, the 4-2-2 is quite balanced in terms of the width of the formation. It's wide, but it's also quite narrow, and the fact that you guys have 2 CDMs when you rock this formation, which means, lads, we don't need to increase the width, in my opinion, nor do we have to increase the narrowness of this formation, because it's quite balanced in nature. Depth, though, on the other hand, I have set onto 65. Now, you could vary this between 65 and 70. In my opinion, any of those will obviously be the best for you, and that's because drop back this year isn't the greatest. It's quite, let's just say, easy to find the striker inside the pots, especially when someone is dropping back and, you know, having their whole defense in their own 18-yard box. I find the striker will usually find the space and to be able to turn and shoot, and I think EA have done this on purpose. It's of course to stop drop back from being overpowered, and I think it's a great thing. And so, lads, to prevent this from happening to you, I in general have this set to 65 to 70, just so I can, number 1, prevent my defense from being too deep and leaving me vulnerable in the back, and number 2 as well, I can put pressure onto my opponent, and that goes into what I was saying before about defensive style and balance, and the fact that I like to manual defend and put a bit more pressure onto my opponent. Build up play we have on fast build up. What I've actually noticed is I like to keep possession with this formation, but I also like my players bombing up the field in a relatively quick fashion, and I like keeping possession in my own opponent's half with this formation, especially post-patch. Compared to last few years, I've kept possession whether it's in my own half and then also in the opponent's half. This year I like doing it all in my opponent's half, so I get it up into his half as quick as I can to then keep the ball on the wing area to draw him out that way, especially when I'm getting up to the 18-yard box area. As you guys would know from that video that I did post about the 4-2-2, it's the fact that you can keep the ball on the wing, look for the gaps in the space in the middle, and especially those strikers slash wingers coming into the space to receive the ball. You pass it into them, and a lot of the time, lads, the space, the gaps, the shooting opportunities will open up. Chance creation I have left on balance. This has actually been the standard of my custom tactics throughout this year, lads. I haven't had anything different. It's always been unbalanced, and that's because I like to be able to control my attack to the point where I don't need to rely on the AI. If I want them to make a run, I'll tap L1. If I want them to come towards me, I'll tap R1. Width I have set to 55. I like a little bit more width in terms of my attack, just because of the technique that I'm using, where I'm taking it out to the wing and waiting for that striker to drift into space to receive the ball. If I have a little bit more width, those lambs and Rams will be able to be a little bit more wider, especially also the wing bats as well, to have the ball and keep it out that side of the pitch to then draw the defense out that way. Players in the bots we have set to 7. Now I do like having more players in the bots in terms of my attack, because it's got two CDMs already. They're still going to be back in time to break up the play, especially if I'm getting counter attacked. So in my opinion, lads, 7 is the best, just because also the way I'm attacking, I want my strikers, my lambs getting into the bots, and maybe just a midfielder or two, give myself an option for the attack. Corners we have set to 2, and that is of course because, lads, I want to have many people back when I'm taking corners. The amount of times that I've conceded corners this year because I've had too many people forward is ridiculous, and having it on 2 has that issue remedied for me. So lads, 2 is the right number for me. Free kicks I have set to 4. I like a few more forward lads for these because I don't find I get countered as much when I'm taking free kicks. I find the AI does still sit back when you are taking free kicks, and you'll still be able to defend adequately and break at the play if they were to counter attack you from a free kick situation. The instructions for our attackers in general are mixed attack for Icardi. I like him coming towards me to give myself an option if need be, especially when I'm around the midfield area and I need a pass into the striker to then progress out to the wing and utilise that attacking technique that I have been using. Mbappe is on getting behind just so I can have a little bit more movement up top to have those balls going behind if I like to do a quick counter attack with this formation. But as I said, I'm more keeping possession with this, especially out in the wings. So in that case, it's not that necessary, but it still gives me that little bit of extra movement up top, if you know what I mean. Messi is on balanced or basic because, lads, in my opinion, they still stick out wide. They're wide enough to receive the ball out that side of the pitch. And why I like to keep it on balance is because they'll generally progress into the 18-yard box when you have the ball on the opposite side, which is what I want. Because as I said, the other 3 attackers will line up in the box in a line, basically receive the ball, and obviously, lads, you can keep passing inside to give it to one of them to have a shot. That goes for the same as Salah, and obviously that goes for the same as Salah. Of course, lads, for our CDMs, we have them on stay back while attacking. They are both on cover center as well. They are the only things that I have changed from basic. Stay back while attacking is one of the most crucial things for your CDMs because you want them staying back and breaking up the play where need be. Cancelo and of course Hakimi are on stay back while attacking. They are our wing bats. Center bats, they are of course on stay back, and goalkeepers are unbalanced. So there you have it, lads. There's the custom tactics to the 4-2-2. I hope you enjoyed this video, and lads, of course, I'm doing tutorials on Instagram and TikTok. Go and check them out. I'm also coaching one-on-one. If you want to become a part of the Patreon, the Academy, lads, the AF Academy, then be sure to go and check that out. The link is in the description down below. Lastly, lads, I'm streaming live and I can interact with you guys live. I'm trying to help you on all avenues I can, if you know what I mean. So lads, if you are interested in checking me out live on stream, come and interact with me, come vibe with me, chill with me on the twitch.com website. Lads, we've been vibing over there, we've been having some fun, that's for sure. Then by all means, lads, go and do so. But that will see you at the end of the episode. I hope you have a good day. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, salam, ciao.